All right, so module 2.2, how to create an AdWords account. Okay, so this is where we're gonna get into the meat of the course. This is gonna, walk you through step by step on how to create that AdWords account. Try to go slow, um, but just keep in mind I am available for questions. Just shoot me a question via email. Google is also available. They're very responsive on support. And also, there's lots of YouTube videos, lots of videos that are even created specifically by Google to help you go through this process. So I'm going to go over really the most important aspects and really the necessary steps to create this. So let's jump right in. Okay, so now I've went ahead and set up a new Gmail address for a Shopify store that I own. It is sbjsupply.com. Now, SBJ Supply, I have a couple just sort of sample products on here. But this is a brand new Gmail account, so starting fresh, exactly like how you would start. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to go to Google search for Google AdWords. Just going to go to adwords.google.com and sign up. Okay, so now Google AdWords is going to ask you for some basic information. However, at this point, I highly recommend that you do not go through the guided setup. So I recommend skipping the guided setup. In my opinion, the guided setup does an okay job at walking you through creating your first campaign, your text campaign, getting your billing up, and all that stuff. But from my opinion, it's a little bit elementary. So I do like to skip the guided setup. I think you can use this video as the guided setup, if you will. But I recommend clicking this link here to skip that guided setup. So now it's going to ask me a few questions. It is important to pick your time zone and currency. I believe, if I remember correctly, your currency cannot be changed and your time zone can be changed once. So it is important to pick your target country, your time zone, and your currency for the account. So in my case, I'm in Eastern Time, US. I'm going to use US dollars. So that is what I will be using. Okay, so here's your AdWords account. There's a couple sort of key things in here. This is sort of the default homepage for someone that doesn't have their account set up. So AdWords will walk you through a few steps here, like setting a budget, creating your ad, enters billing information. You can go just dive right in, set up billing, create some advanced campaigns such as the Google Shopping, set up conversion tracking. There's also some just good information here, like tips and instructions. Of course, if you need support, you can call this number and they will walk you through setting some things up. Just a sort of bit of warning, Google is looking to make money from your advertising, so they will typically set up your campaign in a way that's going to make them the most amount of money. So, for example, they will not add negative bids on mobile. They will not add negative keywords by default. They may do search and display network targeting. So you do have to be pretty careful when you call this number and use their services to set up your campaign. All right, so to start here, what I'd like to do is just jump right into billing setup. There's a couple things in here I just wanted to point out. First of all, go through the steps. Now I've already added a credit card in here, so you're not going to see that process. But just enter your credit card, enter your contact information, all that stuff. Pretty straightforward. It is set to post pay, so when a payment is met, or excuse me, when I reach $50 in ad spend, payment will be automatically made from my credit card. So that is an important thing. As you advertise more, as you spend more, that payment threshold will increase. So that's just, if you have a question of how Google will charge you or when they'll charge you, this is that number. So I also wanted to go over the second most important thing in here is the promo code. So Google offers promo codes for new advertisers. Now to get that, you just scroll all the way down here and hit manage promo codes. So here's where you can add your promo code. Um, you know, different promo codes have different rules on sort of spend. So in some cases, I believe you have to spend the full $100, then you get the $50 credit. In some cases, I think, spend the 25 and then you get a $100 credit. So just do a quick Google search. Find a promo code that you can use in here. It is for new advertisers only. So if you have previously had an AdWords account or are using a credit card that's linked to an old AdWords account, they will not allow you to use a promo code. Obviously, I can't use a promo code because I am a Google partner agency. But that does mean if you need a promo code and can't find one on Google, can't find one through Shopify or any other means, just send me an email. I can give you a promo code. The promo codes through the Google Partner Network is typically 25, spend 25 and get $100 in ad spend. So if you need a promo code, just send me an email, kurt@eastondigital.com, and I can send you one. But this is where you enter it. And like I said, once you meet those requirements, those payment requirements, then that credit will kick in. So that's a pretty important, this is a pretty important field to remember to fill out. So that is pretty much it for billing. Under here is account settings. Let's go over this pretty quickly. So one of the most important things under the settings is to change this tracking to enable auto tagging. Okay, so what this means is Google will automatically tag your traffic with the CPC and paid traffic ID or information so that Google Analytics can see that this traffic is from paid traffic. So if you do not have it selected, this traffic would just show as direct in Google Analytics. So it's very important to enable this and mark this to yes so that you can see this traffic in Google Analytics. A couple other things in here. If you want to change your notification settings, like you can change your email address there. So under linked accounts, it is pretty important to have Google Analytics linked. I recommend importing all your site data. By default, I think sometimes this can be set to do not import site metrics, but I recommend changing to import site metrics. This will give you information in Google AdWords such as like bounce rate, time on page, average, pages per session. Information can be pretty helpful. Merchant Center also needs to be linked. Now I do not have the Merchant Center account set up yet. That'll be another section, but this is where you'll link that, so we'll do that later. So the last thing under account settings is account access. So if you're going to add someone on your team or add someone else, you can easily just type in their email address and name here, give them standard or admin access, send the invite, then they can go through the process of getting access to your account. So that is pretty much it for the account settings setup. Next up will be the conversion tracking and actually creating the campaign and creating the Google Merchant Center. So that is it for this module 2.2.